12,700 special agents. 22 of them work full-time on stolen art. Around 150 operate inside the hostage rescue team. Roughly the same inside the Special Operations Group, a unit so quiet that 2 of its most decorated retirees will not appear in any agency photo published after their date of separation. The same badge, the same oath. 8 different lives. You think the Bureau is one job. You watched the show, you read the book, you saw the press photo on the steps of the Hoover Building. The job you imagined, the gum, the warrant, the perp walk, is one division among many. On most days, it is not even the most interesting one. I want to walk every major division the way no media outlet does it. Not by rank, by specialty. Because once you finish the assessment center at Quantico, once you carry the Glock and the credential, the division you walk into is the rest of your career. And each one breaks you in a specific way. Division 1. The Cyber Division. Created in 2002 in the post-September 11th reorganization, entry salary today sits somewhere between $80,000 and $110,000, depending on locality pay. The geography is the surprise. You expect Quantico. You get a field office cyber squad in an industrial park outside Charlotte, sometimes Pittsburgh, sometimes shared with a state joint cyber task force. You spend your days at a desk. Your eyes are on 3 monitors. The case file is 1,200 pages, and you are looking for a specific timestamp inside a packet capture forwarded by a private bank in Singapore. The work is silent. The room smells like coffee and recycled air. You learn the cadence of legal attaché communication, the polite formality of mutual legal assistance treaties, and the specific frustration of waiting 6 weeks for a foreign jurisdiction to acknowledge a subpoena. The damage is sedentary. Lower back at 36. Eyes that need correction by year 3. A child whose first sentences you missed because there was a ransomware actor in a country you cannot extradite from, and someone needed to read the chat logs by Monday. The arrests, when they come slowly. Indictments are filed and sealed. The handler in Bucharest never sets foot in a United States courtroom. You read the closing memo on a Tuesday. There is no press conference. You go home. Division 2, the Computer Analysis Response Team. CART. Established in 1984. Forensic examiners, sometimes special agents, sometimes operational support, who image hard drives, recover deleted files, and process digital evidence the rest of the Bureau cannot read on its own. The pay is the same as the cyber squads. The work is heavier. You sit in a room with the air-gap discipline of an evidence vault. The cases that come through your queue are not the white-collar ones the news covers. The cases that come through your queue are child exploitation material in volumes the public will not be told about. You see the same images 300 times because they recirculate across forums and cloud accounts. You build the chain of custody. You write the affidavit. You sign your name to a document a federal prosecutor will hand a judge in a courtroom you will never enter. Walk the floor at any field office CART unit at the end of a long week. The examiners do not talk about cases. They talk about their dogs, their gardens, the truck transmission they rebuilt last summer. They have learned what the unit calls cognitive containment. It is a skill nobody at Quantico teaches in a classroom. You build it or you transfer out. The examiners who stay longest have one private thing, not their family, something separate that they have made their hands do every weekend for years. The body has already decided what it needs to remain a body. Division 3. The Joint Terrorism Task Force. Standardized after September 11, 2001, there are now more than 200 JTTFs spread across the United States. The model is simple on paper and complicated in practice. You are a Bureau Special Agent assigned to a task force that also includes detectives from the local police department, an officer from the regional sheriff's office, a Customs and Border Protection liaison, sometimes an intelligence analyst from the State Fusion Center. Your boss is FBI. The detective next to you reports to a captain who reports to a city mayor. You learn interagency politics in the first month. The local detective has been working the source you are about to take federal for 2 years. He is not happy about losing him. The intelligence analyst's classification authorities are different from yours. The customs officer's reporting line is in a different cabinet department entirely. You write a probable cause affidavit. You walk it through 3 legal reviews because 3 agencies have to sign off. The trip takes 9 days. The subject of your investigation has, in the meantime, taken a domestic flight to a city you cannot lawfully operate in without coordinating with that city's FBI field office. The damage is procedural fatigue. You stop trusting your own draft work because 4 other agencies will redline it. Your sentences shorten. Your reports become a defensive document, not an investigative one. You start sleeping in your office on Wednesdays. You stop saying yes to your wife's brother's wedding because the calendar is now controlled by a court order calendar in a federal district 2 states away. The arrests, when they come, are clean. The interagency credit fight that follows is not. In 2016, I gave a deposition in a federal civil matter. The agents in the room were not FBI, they were Securities and Exchange Commission, but the cadence was the same. 3 of them, one taking notes the entire time. The lead asked one question every 6 or 7 minutes, the other 2 never spoke. I left that conference room thinking about how much of federal work is silence and how little of it looks like what we are sold on television. Most channels in this space give you the map and stop. I give you the cost of each step. If that is what you want more of, subscribe. The next ladder is already filmed. Division 4. Counterintelligence. The slowest war in federal law enforcement. You work a target for 3 years before there is a defensible indictment. The case every counterintelligence agent has read is Robert Hanssen, FBI special agent from 1976 to 2001. He sold classified material to Soviet and then Russian intelligence for 22 years. He was inside the bureau. He had a security clearance. His handlers never knew his real name. The internal investigation that finally identified him opened in 1994. The arrest happened at a dead drop in Foxstone Park in February 2001. The damage assessment that followed took 6 years. The agents inside the bureau who worked the parallel case file spent 4 of those years in a basement office and could not tell their wives what they did at work. You work the cases nobody hears about. The foreign national who works at a federally funded research lab and ships controlled technology through 3 shell companies. The commercial officer at a New York consulate who keeps showing up at the same conferences as a defense contractor's CFO. You build a wire interception package. You sit on it for 9 months. The Department of Justice has questions. The judge has more. The damage is paranoia that becomes durable. You stop trusting unverified introductions. You watch people who do not know they are being watched. You meet your wife's college friend at a dinner, and the first thing you notice is the cell phone in her left hand, and the way she keeps it screen down. She is not a threat. The reflex never turns off. Division 5. The Behavioral Analysis Unit, Quantico. 5 subunits, today housed in the Behavioral Sciences Building on the FBI Academy campus. The original team, 11 profilers, including John Douglas, built the foundation between 1972 and the mid-80s. The interviews with Edmund Kemper, with Charles Manson, with Ted Bundy in 1980, before Bundy went to the chair. Those interviews are the literature of the unit. You read them, you memorize them. You arrive at 32 with a master's in forensic psychology and a special agent credential that took 5 years to earn. The work is not what television showed you. There are no chase scenes. You consult on cases from 60 field offices and dozens of state and local agencies. You draft a behavioral assessment based on crime scene photographs, autopsy reports, victimology, and one phone call with the lead investigator. You hand it off. You may never know the outcome. The defendant pleads on a Thursday in a federal courthouse you have never visited. The local detective sends a one-line email. It was him. Thank you. The damage is the photographs. You see them in your head when you do not want to. You stop watching crime television. You stop having dinner conversations about anything you do at work. The agents who survive the unit longest are the ones who develop a private discipline: running, woodworking, a strict shutdown time. The ones who do not survive do not quit. They transfer. Counter-intel takes some, training takes some. The work continues without them. Division 6, the Art Crime Team. Founded in 2004 after the looting of the Iraq National Museum the year before. 22 special agents assigned, all of them carrying additional caseloads in other programs. Since inception, the team has recovered, by Bureau accounting, more than $800 million in stolen objects. You spend your days reading auction catalogues, dealer correspondence, provenance documents in French and Italian and German. You learn the language of trade, deaccession, attribution, the difference between a forensic forgery and a pastiche. You sit on a stolen property database that connects to Interpol's records and to a handful of European national registries that do not always share with one another. The cases are slow. The civil litigation runs parallel to the criminal investigation. The collector who bought a small Picasso at a Geneva auction in 2007 did not know it had been looted from a Brussels apartment in 1942. The collector is now 78 years old. The original family lives across 2 countries. Your job is to read everything they read and reach a position both will eventually accept. Here is the part of this division most of the public will never get. Art crime is the FBI specialty press most often praises and most often misrepresents. The films make it look like Steve McQueen in a turtleneck. The actual work is closer to estate paperwork. The romanticizing does the unit a quiet damage. The agents in the art crime team are taken less seriously inside the Bureau than agents working narcotics or violent crime. The cases close more slowly. The recoveries take a generation. Look at his hands at the end of a career on the team. He has spent 20 years sitting at a desk reading documents in 3 languages, and he is one of the few people in the world who can do that work. Nobody outside the unit will ever know. Division 7, the Hostage Rescue Team. Established in 1983 on the recommendation of an interagency working group convened before the Los Angeles Olympic Games. Around 150 operators, the pipeline is closed. Selection from inside the Bureau, typically agents with prior military or SWAT experience who already carry a special agent credential. The compound is at Quantico. The training cycle runs about 2 years before an operator goes operational. The rotation includes maritime, vertical, vehicle assault, and bus assault scenarios. The team is on a 30-minute recall when not deployed. The cases that mark the unit are the ones the unit lost, or the ones the public will not let it forget. The Branch Davidian compound outside Waco, Texas. April 19, 1993. 76 people died in the fire that ended the standoff, including 25 children. The team had been on site for 48 days. The decisions made in those 48 days about gas, about negotiation, about whether the compound's residents could leave, became the longest internal review in the team's institutional memory. The operators on that perimeter went home. Some of them stayed in the unit for another decade. Some of them did not. The damage is physical and moral. The knee at 41. The hearing at 44. The decision you made in a stack at 3 in the morning in 2008 that the after-action review concluded was correct, while the family of the man who died in that stack will not accept the conclusion, and never will. You sit with the right call and the wrong outcome in the same body. He doesn't say it out loud. He drives home. Division 8. The Special Operations Group. The unit you will not find on television. Because the unit you will not find on television is the point. SOG provides specialized surveillance, physical, technical, foot, mobile, across counterintelligence, counterterrorism, and major criminal investigations. The operators are not standard special agents. They are professional support, often hired laterally from military intelligence backgrounds, who do not testify in open court, do not appear in case file front matter, and do not get the press release when a case closes. They work in 3-vehicle moving boxes around a target who does not know they are there. They photograph a meeting outside a Northern Virginia coffee shop and walk that photograph into an escif before lunch. They learn the city they work in better than anyone who lives there, plus the dry cleaners that take cash, plus the rotation pattern of the parking enforcement officer on the corner, plus the security guard at the consular office across the street who started his shift 40 minutes early on a Wednesday. The damage is recognition that never comes. The arrests on the cases you made possible appear in the morning briefing under another agent's name. Your wife knows you do something for the federal government. She does not know what. Your children's school does not know what their father does. Your retirement will be quiet. Your name will not appear in any agency anniversary publication. You will be one of the men in the dark, on the edge of the frame, in someone else's photograph. 12,700 special agents, 22 on stolen art, roughly 150 inside the hostage rescue team, roughly the same inside the Special Operations Group. 8 divisions, 8 separate trades inside the same bureau. The man who graduates Quantico at 28 does not know which division he will walk into. He cannot know. The assignment depends on a hiring need that has not been published, a special agent in charge who has not yet retired, a case backlog 3 time zones away that will become urgent 6 weeks from now. He raises his right hand. He carries the Glock and the credential. He is told he will be useful where he is sent. He is sent. He is useful. The Bureau is one badge to the outside world. To the man inside it, the Bureau is the specific room he sits in for the next 20 years. The lamp on his desk, the case file in front of him, the chair worn at the same point on the same side, the wife who learned what subjects to leave alone, the child whose graduation he watched on a phone in a hotel room because the case was running long. Same badge, same oath, different room every time.